I wanted to play drums, actually, and my mom called the music school and she said, do you take kids for drum lessons? And they said, oh, how old is your son? And she said 3.5, and they laughed and they said, oh, the youngest we take is 14. And she asked me if I wanted to wait 10 years. I said no. So then my mom brought me to some master classes at the Suzuki school, and I first went to the violin master class, and I came running out, and I covered my ears. I said, it's too squeaky, and that was definitely not the instrument for me. But then she brought me to a cello master class, and I immediately fell in love with the sound. As I described it, I said it was a deep and scary sound.
So I guess I would say that the piano happened upon me, and he definitely chose the cello.
At the Festival of the Sound, we are very proud of our Stocky Young Artist program, where we search out very talented young performers and we put them on our stage in front of our pretty reasonably knowledgeable audience. And last summer, of course, the Cheng² Duo were our Stocky Young Artists, and we gave them a recital. We had quite a few people coming, quite a few people were curious and wondering who these young people were. And when they found out who they were, as musicians, they became very excited. And that was very, very clear from the response they got in their concert. There's cheering, yelling, standing ovation. It was really fantastic. And so as I was sitting there as artistic director, I thought, well, here's a good pair to invite back. Because, of course, when you invite an artist to a festival, you're always wondering, will they connect with the audience? On many levels, will they connect with the audience on a performance level, of course, but also as people. And as people, they endeared themselves greatly with our audience, so they were a natural to invite back.
Well, I fell in love with classical music at a very young age, and I guess I don't really remember a time when there wasn't classical music in my life. I grew up listening to classical CDs and, of course, playing the cello, and so it's always been a major part of my life.
I think it's really shaped how we've become as human beings as well, because a lot of playing music is about cooperation and collaboration and creativity, and I think that's just enhanced who we've become as people, also as musicians.
Now, here I have had the pleasure, really, and the satisfaction of having Silvie and Cheng playing for me as youngsters. We were very young. Not that they are not very young now. They are very young and very good looking. So they have everything that will help them to, in today's world, to sell them. But they have more than that. And that more than that is what I'm wanting and hoping that they will develop. That is a sense that they have. They have it very wonderfully. But the sense of beauty has no end.
The other thing, of course, is the very high quality of musical performance, the cello and the piano. And the other thing is that, it's fantastic to have two young people working so well together.
we are beginning to see now is their experimentation, terribly innovative. And experimentation and innovation and reinterpretation or adding different contexts is all part of the artistic expression, and it all enhances the artistic enjoyment of whoever the audience is.
How the piano came into my life was kind of an interesting story. My parents and I took a road trip to the Maritimes when I was about 4.5 years old, and we were driving for long days, so they piled me into the backseat of a car with many toys, and it included this little lap-sized blue electronic keyboard. And apparently I would get bored of dolls and other things.
When you see a group like Bryan and Silvie, the Cheng² Duo, they have a huge amount of, I guess it's a performing ability, but it's also just their day-to-day appreciation of music and how they can communicate that. And I think that's not something you see very often.
The Cheng Duo is truly unique. Even though it's a brother and sister and they live together, you can't ever tell that they ever fought in their lives. They make music together as though they're one person with four hands. They inspire each other, and that's quite extraordinary. And they're both at the top of their game with their instrument. Bryan is a cellist and Silvie is a pianist.